Welcome back. I'm sitting here taking time watching YouTube videos, and I'm screaming at my screen here because they're hitting subjects that I wish I could be there for. So I'm gonna watch them with you now, and we're gonna talk about it. This is the WilHemi Show.
There is no
Welcome back to the WilHemi Show. This has been a nice, long, juicy week for me, and it took me a little time. It's Saturday. I'm just not getting around to it, but whatever. Over the past few days, I've been watching YouTube videos, right? Which I always do. I do my research, trying to stay up on topics. And I was watching this car pod, Doug DeMuro and two other dudes who I don't really know, and they talk about stuff, and I can relate to them a lot because I dabble in the European cars, this, that, and other thing. So check this out.
Those cars, because they'd already committed to some production numbers and needed to get that through. So maybe people will do that and continue sales, but you're certainly not going to invest in more.
No.
You're certainly not going to invest in bringing those manufacturing for those cars to the U.S.
Right.
That market's dead.
And then so China eats our lunch, and we see where this is going, and we see where
this is going. I know this song. See how the story ends.
I mean, I hate to say it, but and I'm not, as an enthusiast, EVs aren't exactly my favorite thing, but you see where the world is headed, and you see where China is headed with that news story we just did about BYD, and you see what's going to happen when America doesn't incentivize people to buy electric cars.
100%.
We're doing it to ourselves.
Hey, next news story.
See what I'm talking about? I don't know. This is new. The new Dodge EV is already doomed because it can't survive on its own. It's not a good enough car to actually be a viable choice. So that's why they're canceling that, and that's why we move on to the next thing. Well, so the discussion moved on to my favorite subject, the V8.
So, related to that, GM announced this week that they're investing $888 million in updating a factory that produces V8 engines right outside of Buffalo, New York. Shout out to Buffalo, to produce their next generation V8.
Shout out to Buffalo.
Got family there.
He loves hot wings.
I love what?
Hot wings. You love buffalo?
Oh, sure. Buffalo.
Can I ask a question? Do you think the $888 million?
I've wondered.
Do you think that was coincidental?
I see what you're saying.
Or do you think it was meant to placate the Chinese?
I've wondered about the coincidence, the V8, and also the connection to Chinese. I've legitimately thought about whether they tried to make sure that it rounded to 888, like throw in a few extra million here. Regardless, we can move on from this, but basically GM is still investing in the next generation V8, and they're investing heavily in producing them because they expect it to be a large part of their infrastructure. It's not their only factory that produces V8. There's others that GM owns.
Does this story happen without Trump and these changes?
No.
Can Trump save V8s?
Yep.
What do you mean, well?
That was the comment of the day. We would not be here right now. Nobody would be trying to bring back their V8s without Trump at this point. So I'm sorry if you hate him, but you got to give it up. You got to give it up. I'm sorry. You just got to. But anyway, it went on.
All right, Trump saved V8s. Filippo, are these truck engines?
Yeah,
that's the thing. They're not, I don't know that these are going to be V8s and sports cars.
No. This is all for the Silverado, Tahoe, Sierra, etc.
We're just fine.
Those engines will find their...
I got to remind you, Doug DeMuro ain't no conservative whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But the man's honest. He's telling the goddamn it's true. That's what just happened around here. But, you know.
Way into builds that we'll do together with a couple of cold ones over a long weekend.
A lot of cold ones.
And maybe we'll do the next.
Corbin and I aren't together. We could have been doing a build over a long weekend with cold ones like we usually do.
Yeah, that's right. Memorial Day weekend, we could have done it, but alas.
But remember, Kenan, last year, remember how we put that Coyote in that Lotus Europa?
Whew. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that thing, it really sung. The Lotus America is what we called it.
All right, give us our next. Yeah, Europa, screw Europa.
Speaking of Europas, tell us about this Europan.
He is Europan. That's so true. This is the new Stellantis CEO. They finally announced who the new CEO is. It is a gentleman named Antonio Filosa. He's from Naples. He was previously the head of Stellantis or sub-brands of it in South America, CEO of Jeep. He's been there for a while.
And I'll tell you what, in this picture, he looks thrilled.
Yeah, he looks thrilled.
So he looks excited.
So no, they announced that this morning. Their stock is down 3.5% since.
Yep, that's all I need to know.
They're promoting from within. The stock market doesn't like the fact that someone else from Stellantis is going to be a part of this. He was a part of the last batch of track. Is this the guy that gave us the Jeep Renegade? That question should be asked every time someone from Stellantis is promoted.
No, he gave us the Grand Wagoneer.
Did he play on the Jeep Renegade?
Only the Grand Wagoneer. Is that better?
No, God.
No.
I'm partially joking. He became the CEO of Jeep in like 2023, but he was pretty instrumental in growing Stellantis.
Now, I got to give you a fail on that one. This dude did not give us a Grand Wagoneer because that Grand Wagoneer hit in 2022, and it was already failing miserably and having lots of problems in 2022. And he came on board in 23, and he was given the mess. Now, notably, I've seen these Wagoneers are getting better. I think they're fixing stuff. They cut their teeth on all these problems, and now these things are becoming drivable. So much to the fact, now mind you, I'm looking around, I'm thinking about purchasing one, right? I love the thing for what it is, what it should be. Now, I've been looking on the used market, and now a lot of them have been bought back. But how many is a lot? A lot of them is, it seems to be roughly 5% is the failure rate that I'm getting. Now, the manufacturer never posts the buyback rate. They never let that out. That is an industry trade secret. But the way things have been going, Wagoneers have gotten a really horrible rap. But it's only been roughly about 5% of the trucks that were not repairable and had to be bought back. So what I'm saying is, if you like the Grand Wagoneer right now, you find one on sale with 40,000, 50,000 miles on it. It has never been bought back. It's not a salvage title. It's not a lemon law car. You know that from the Carfax. You know whether or not it's legit. One owner car with 60,000 miles on it, you got a good car. You got one that worked. I mean, all of them didn't fail. I was kind of under the impression that the failure rate was up around 50%. It was not. There are tons of these Grand Wagoneers and Wagoneers rolling right now on the road that have been trouble-free. I've been stopping people and talking to them as I've been running across them whenever I could, and they ain't had no problems with the thing. So, like I said, it'll be a part of the channel, and we'll do some Jeep business stuff on it when I get it. I'm just kind of tossing the idea around right now, but I'm telling you, they can be had for pennies right now. I mean, I'm seeing them in the 40s and 50s, Series 3s, 22s, 23s, and you know, they 100 plus new out the gate. So I mean, this is the way you buy a car. I mean, I could run out right now, plop down 50 racks, grab a newish, fully loaded Series 3 Wagoneer. Not an L, I mean the regular ones, right? Because the L's came out later. Not a lot of L's. But I grab a new Series 3 Wagoneer right now. Interior's still nice. The paint's still nice. Most of these things they're not driven heavily, you know what I mean? Even though it may have 50, 60,000 miles on it, it's still, man, you could pull up right now and this thing still looks new. It still is relatively new in the mind of the public. Anybody who sees you with it gonna think you bought a new truck. And you could play it off, because mind you, ain't been no updates. They have not changed it one bit. So, I mean, you know, if you're willing to wait, if you don't have to have the new stuff today, what's new what nobody's seen yet, if you don't have to have the new, and you willing to wait a little while so they iron out the bugs, or you find out which ones were the lemons, because the ones that had the problems, they showed up real quick. Now, you come across, like I said, a 60,000 mile 392 built in 2022, you're not going to have the lifter problems. That's been handled. That was handled in 17, 18, 19. They updated the lifters and fixed those. We're not seeing those kind of lifter drops anymore. There is the occasional engine failure, but that's true of any car. Now, will I drop money at being an owner of a 392, and I've already replaced one at 90,000 miles. Am I willing to step into another 392 with 60,000 miles on it? Yeah, I would, because I know I can get another crate for 10 if I have to. So I kind of figured that into the price, and the price of admission on a Grand Wagoneer with all that stuff, massaging seats, 3 roofs, you know what I'm saying? Basically a panorama and another roof on the back, which roofs are my thing. I love roofs. I don't see a way to lose. And I mean, you know, of course I wanted Durango Hellcat also, but those are kind of useless toys. They like the TRX, and they don't have no, you know, the gas mileage is so horrible. You can't take it on the road. I mean, you can, but it's just gonna cost you way too damn much. So, you know, when you're talking about reality, you're talking about practicality, you want to be in something nice, you got other stuff already, the Grand Wagoneer might be something worth looking at. And I'm telling you, what I'm seeing, yeah, it probably really is. But that's it for now. We're gonna keep pushing. I got some other videos to shoot, so I'm gonna make this one short and lovely. And until next time, I hope you have a great day. And man, this car thing is getting wild. Keep a Hemi under your right foot though, because that's what I intend to do. Unless I mess around and get a ZR1 or something. Man, I see Jay Leno running around in that yellow one on his show. Oh my God. Mama ain't got nothing for that right now. But anyway, we'll wait. We'll check it out. We'll wait. You know I am. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good evening. Good night. Bye.